Good day, everyone. My name is Tori Giffen. I'm the Assistant Director of Online Programs here at the College of Education at the University of Illinois. We are so glad to have you with us today for the Early Intervention Graduate Certificate Information Session. While we are just getting started, just want to remind everybody that you have been muted upon entry. Feel free to go ahead and type questions in the chat. We have some folks from the program who we will introduce here shortly, myself, and then Brianna Davis, Online Student Advisor. They can help answer some questions if you have them, but there will also be plenty of time for Q&A at the end of the session. If you have a question you want to ask privately, you can always message one of us. You can message me and I can ask that question to the audience and to our presenters for you. With that, feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. We have a good sized group here today. So let us know why you're interested in this program. Let us know who you are, maybe where you're from, just to double check that the chat is working for everyone. Also, while you're here today, the purpose of this session, you will learn about the eligibility, structure, admissions, career-related paths, and who this program's really for. If you have questions about any of our other programs that aren't covered during this information session, please contact us at onlineprograms@education.illinois.edu. We'd be happy to answer any of those questions. If you have questions that don't get answered, or you think of something later, or you're watching this recording back and you did not have a chance to ask them live, you can also email us at onlineprograms@education.illinois.edu, and we will be happy to get you the answer to your question. With that, I'm just going to briefly share a bit about the online program staff. Some of them are on the call here today, but as you're in the program or applying for the program, you will probably interact with at least a couple of us, and we'll probably be helping answer some of your questions or anything like that as you're getting started in the program and as you move throughout your online program. Gina Puff is our Online Academic and Student Services Coordinator. There's myself, and then Brianna Davis, who I did see is in the chat, so she might be answering some of your questions, is our Online Student Advisor in online programs. And then Sangeeta Gopalakrishnan is the Assistant Dean for Online Learning and Innovation. And with that, I'm going to turn things over to Jessica.
Hi, everyone. Just making sure you can hear me okay?
Sure
Perfect.
can.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, thank you all for being here. We are this program is part of the Department of Special Education. And we're a program that we're a department that does research, supports teachers, trains teachers to work with children and students with disabilities as well as with their families. So we really work across the lifespan with people with disabilities, and we've been a leader in the field for a number of decades. And so that's kind of who is creating this program is the Department of Special Education at the University of Illinois. The faculty in early intervention include me, but even more excitingly, Dr. Crystal Williams and Dr. Emily Harrington, who are two new faculty who are both former early intervention providers. So we have between us, we have a lot of different experience serving young children with disabilities and their families, and Crystal and Emily have direct experience serving as early intervention providers. Crystal as a special instructor and Emily as a speech language pathologist. So to tell you a little bit about the structure of the early intervention graduate certificate, we have courses that are all 8 weeks long. So courses will, for those of you who are familiar with the traditional course length, it's often 16 weeks. So instead of having 16-week full semester courses, we have half semester courses. So the first half of fall is the first course. The second half of fall is the second course. The first half of spring is the third course, and the second half of spring is the fourth course. So all of these courses have weekly synchronous components where you will meet for 2 hours on Zoom. And there also is there will be asynchronous components that are required, you know, doing readings, perhaps watching videos, interacting with a module, just depending on the course content and the class. Of course, as with all college courses, we expect that regular attendance is going to yield the best learning outcomes. So the purpose of the Early Intervention Graduate Certificate Program is to help prepare new early intervention providers or to provide additional support to current early intervention providers around recommended practices in early intervention, which, as most of you probably know, is services for children 0 to 3 with delays or disabilities, as well as their families. So we have these 4 courses that I mentioned, and one of them is about child development, birth to 3. One of them is about family-centered practices. There's one on ethical practices in early intervention, and then the final course is around collaboration and teaming. And so what we think is interesting and unique about this program is that it's really focused on children 0 to 3 and their families. So it's not focused on the broader early childhood age range. It's really focused on how we can learn about teaming and collaboration, for example, in the context of early intervention. The graduate certificate can also be applied towards, you can apply the credits you earn through this program towards a master's or doctoral program if you are admitted to those programs in our College of Education. So for example, if you take these courses and you think, hey, actually being in school is kind of fun, or I didn't mind going back to school, or I'm learning a lot more, or I want to research some of these things that I'm learning about, then you can apply to the master's program or the PhD program, depending on what makes the most sense for you. And these courses will count for those programs. So the requirements of the certificate are these 4 2-credit hour courses. Now, if you are just interested in one of the courses, we welcome you to take that course. But to get the graduate certificate, you need to take all 4 courses. We have structured the program so that you can take it in 1 year. So you can take all 4 courses in 1 year, but you also don't have to. So if you want to take one course next fall and another course the next fall, that's up to you. But if you do want to kind of knock it out in 1 year, that's also possible. So the courses I've already mentioned are about development, families, ethics, and collaboration, and the course numbers are on the screen as well. So if you wanted to, do a Google of those courses, you could see what the course description is for each course. So one question you might be asking, especially if you're already an early intervention provider, is why should I do this graduate certificate? So our intent with a graduate certificate is to provide more specialized knowledge in early intervention to professionals from any discipline. So if you're a special instructor and you want to delve a little bit more deeply into some of these topics that you're practicing in your profession, or you're a speech language pathologist who perhaps did not get as much training around the birth to 3 age range, um, or for any other reason you just want to get more specialized knowledge, then this could be a good program for you. Additionally, if you are someone who's not already an early intervention provider, and you want to learn more about that career, we also are currently working with Provider Connections to ensure that these courses will count towards an early intervention credential in Illinois. Now, if you live in another state, you will have to explore if and how these courses could count for that state. But for Illinois, we are we're moving in that direction. So if you don't already have the credential, our hope is that these courses would allow you to, would be able to be applied towards the credential.
And
Oh, sorry.
oh, yep, I was just gonna say, and with that, I'm back up. So just want to let folks know a little bit about admissions process. So the admissions for this program are through the Center for Teaching and Learning. You apply for the programs and the courses that Jessica had shared earlier, all at the same time. You can do one at a time, or you can do any that are available that term. So you, for example, you could start just with one course and then you could register again for the second course that term. You have to wait till the next semester in order to register for the next two courses. Um, also, the program makes admission decisions and approves those decisions based on the campus requirements. And you can apply at the link here on the screen and has more information about that process. But if you have specific questions, we can answer that here tonight, or you can follow up with us via email. Want to let folks know that the application deadline for fall for this is August 11th. And again, there is the application link. Do just want to let people know that there is no GRE scores that are required for this application, and that you just need a bachelor's degree. And with that, you can visit the program site there that is linked there to learn more information about about the program. And if you have questions, you can email us or you can talk with our chatbot, Eddie, that is on that same program page. Tuition starting in fall 2025 is $538 per credit hour. Each of those courses was 2 credit hours. So those 2 credit hours is for each course. So if you register for one course at a time, it would be 2 times the 538, and so on and so forth. Tuition is subject to change, but we do keep that information up to date on our web pages. With that, do want to just do some shout outs for we hope that you join us here at the University of Illinois. We are top tier research university. All of these classes are graduate classes. They are offered to current students and non-degree students and students who might be taking this certificate program as well. We are ranked number 8 by U.S. News and World Report in special education graduate program. We are certainly affordable compared to what we see from our peers. We have world-class faculty. Some of them are on the call with us today. We have an online student engagement as a focus, and we have peers from really around the world. So while the CEUs are here working on getting them in place for Illinois, we do have students that take our classes from all around the world. We do have resources for all of our online students, even as a student in the certificate program, for example, you would get access to our library resources. Want to just shout out that we are currently ranked number 11 as the best graduate school among public universities. We also were ranked number 3 for our online master's in education degree programs by U.S. News and World Report as of January of this year. And then again, you can see there we were ranked 8th in special education specifically. So with that, we should have plenty of time to answer any questions that you have. Don't forget to apply for this program by August 11th for fall 2025 start. Applications do open July 9th, but you will get a reminder when that opens if you registered for this webinar. So being in attendance, we will do a reminder to follow up with you on that. If you have questions, please go ahead and type them in the chat here. We have a good enough group. You could unmute yourself and answer or ask that question, or you can send a message to me privately, and I am happy to answer that. Let's see. Any? So we did have a question here about, okay, so financial aid. So this is a non-degree certificate program, so it is unfortunately currently not financial aid eligible. But if you have specific questions, you can email us and we can redirect you or get some of those questions answered for you. I am seeing question here. How long has the certificate been offered? Jessica, do you want to speak to that?
Sure. It has been in the planning stage for quite a few years, but it will be offered for the first time in the fall.
Tori, this is Brianna. I'll just add one more note for our financial aid question. Payment plans are available through the bursar's office. So if you have questions about financial options, we do offer payment plans that you can coordinate with the bursar's office as well. So if you're in a spot where you can't pay directly out of pocket, totally understandable. Just know that there are some options available to you as a non-degree student.
Yeah, thanks for that, Brianna. And also just want to shout out if you have any employers that are paying for this, that same payment plan can be routed to your employer if they are paying for any of these courses or anything like that. So that is an option that is available as well. Question that I got here is there a set uh, course order, Jessica, or prerequisites for any of the courses? I can go back to the course screen if you want to talk on that.
Yeah, that's a great question. Our we certainly thought about what order makes sense logically to offer these courses in. And that's the order we're offering them in. But um, it is not our intent that each course is a prerequisite for the next course. So, for example, if you have had a lot of child development coursework and you feel like that's not a needed course for you, or then you can certainly start with one of the other courses. And similarly, if you just plan on taking one or two of the courses and not getting the certificate, that's fine as well.
Yes, and then Crystal also added here for us that the first two courses, so that would be if I am correct, that would be the SPED 501 and 503 are offered this fall, and then SPED 505 and 507 are offered in the spring.
Yep, that's correct.
Thank you for all of the questions we have gotten so far. Trying to make sure that I haven't missed anything that somebody has asked in the chat. Again, if you think of any questions that you didn't get answered or watching this back later, you can reach us at onlineprograms@education.illinois.edu.
Also, I want to add, I had an exchange with Amy in the chat. Amy, I would encourage you to reach out to us in the email that Tori either is going to share or will share, or has already shared, because I can talk with you a little bit about our master's program as well as looking into the credential question that you had. But if you think that you're interested in a master's program, we do have one in our department, and that I'd be happy to give you more information about it. And that goes
Yeah,
for
and then
everyone, not just Amy.
I did get a question here. Can you take the certificate at the same time as another degree program? And I'm happy to say yes, you can. You can earn the the certificate at the same time as another degree program. So if you're a current student or if you become a student at a later point in time, you can also complete and earn this graduate certificate at the same time. Any other questions?
I'm just gonna unmute because I probably can't type this fast enough, but are you familiar with the Georgetown University, their certificate in early intervention?
I'm familiar with it, but I haven't taken it, so I can't speak too much to the content.
Okay, I have looked at that a couple of times and then I said, it's just kind of a lot of money because it doesn't really change anything financially on our end
Sure.
in Illinois, you know? But this
Mhm.
one, I mean, this is like, 1/3 the cost or something like that. And no travel cost also, because the Georgetown one, you have to actually go there in person sometimes.
Oh, wow.
So that is very much appealing to me. Can you
Mhm.
speak do you have an idea of like what's your ideal number of students to enroll for the fall?
Tori, can you speak to that?
So unless the department has any limits, I believe the only limits will be the course limits size for the program. So we are hoping to get a good number of students to be admitted into the program. But there really shouldn't be any limits outside of course sizes for the classes, unless I'm mistaken.
No, I think that's right. I guess I would also say, Laura, that, because this is a new program, honestly, we expect it to have, to ramp up as the years go by. So if we had, 10 students this fall, I think we would be ecstatic.
Mhm.
And because that would be enough for it to be a sustainable program, and also because um, that's kind of a nice amount to do a real in-depth discussions and stuff with. But we're open to less than that and more than that if we're lucky enough to get more than that.
Okay. And do you already know like that the weekly meetings are going to be like on Wednesdays or Tuesdays? Do you have that planned yet or not?
Yes, we have planned for Thursdays.
Thursday evenings? Okay.
Hmm. I
And
believe it's 6 to 8.
Yep, that's correct.
Thank you, Emily. Emily's going to be
Yep.
teaching them in the fall.
okay, so 6 to 8, and then is the format like PowerPoints or is it all read ahead and discussion based or?
Our intent is that it would be both. I don't know if you want to add anything, Emily. We certainly don't want it to be all lecture.
Yeah, I think the goal would be that it would be discussion based, and ideally we'd be pulling from the experience that we collectively had as a class. So, bringing in examples from the field and examples from the reading to make sure that we're kind of bridging the academic piece with the clinical practice piece.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And do you anticipate like group projects or what will the workload be for the students?
I'm definitely still in the development of finalizing the coursework, but I anticipate that most of it will be individual assignments, just given the nature of the program and the fact that we are, opening this up to people who are living anywhere. I think group projects can be a little tricky when people can only meet online. So ideally, I think the assignments would be individualized assignments, and then the time we have in class would be that time that we really get to learn from each other.
Okay. Okay. I think I am going to sign up for it. I just need to check because I'm a UIC employee, I know that I have some education benefits. I just don't know what they are and if it covers certificate programs, but in general, it covers any graduate coursework that I would want. So I would think it's covered, but I don't know. I'll have to look into it.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, we hope that it works, and we will be excited to have you.
Thank you. Oh. It always sounds like a good idea until you get started and then you're in a frenzy. So
Yep.
but that should be good. Are you guys anticipating that most of the people will be current graduate students or more practicing clinicians already that work in early intervention? What do you think you're going to get?
I would anticipate that we're going to get a mix. I know we have a few current students that are registered for the course. Master students in our early childhood special ed program and also in other programs. But our hope is certainly that we have a nice mix that includes practicing providers or people that are in the early intervention field in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of our master students already have a lot of experience, so they're not sometimes they're straight from undergrad, but sometimes they have a wealth of professional experience as well.
Okay. All right. Yes, I will. I just saw the comment to tell my friends I'm in like a physical therapy kind of discussion group that we meet once a month with just, several very experienced therapists. And I think I will throw it out to them. It'll be a lot of us did the EI collective as well. And
Wonderful. Thanks for.
do you think this will be like a lot more in depth in the collective? More didactic study, or what do you think?
Crystal, can you speak to that?
I was just unmuting. My understanding of the collective when I did it, it was very reflection based and experience based. I think this will add a little bit of layers of we're going to be reading some research and really trying to apply what we know about research also. I don't know if that's helpful.
Yeah, that was helpful. Yep. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. And I'm sorry, can you just repeat again? I'm sure I can just go online, but can you repeat the application opens in July and closes in
Yeah, so
August?
the application opens July 9th, closes August 11th. Because you register for this webinar, we will send you like a reminder on July 9th that
Okay.
applications have opened and a link to that. So if that's something that you want, you're already on the list and we will get that to you. Also, because Related had a question about the start dates. So the part of term A first course starts August 25th and the second course for fall starts the week of October 20th.
Okay.
Any other questions? I do have one last poll. Just want to get some feedback from folks. Do not feel like you need to leave. We still have plenty of time to ask questions if anybody has them.
Tori, while everyone is answering the poll, I just want to give a quick plug that as a student in one of our non-degree graduate certificate programs, you are absolutely a student at the University of Illinois, and you will have access to our library, our writing center, our advising services. So it's a really great opportunity to kind of get to know our programs, the college, the university, especially if you are considering later pursuing one of our degree programs and thinking about maybe stacking these courses into a degree program. So just know that there are quite a few resources that you'll have access to as an online student in one of our certificate courses or certificate programs as well.
Yes, Angelica, I can share that with you. If you wouldn't mind, could you message me your email or send an email to the email on the screen so I have yours?
Could we send out a flyer with the recording?
That's a great idea.
Yes, I can attach that and send it with the recording. I think
Okay,
the file
perfect.
size will work. So
Yeah, I was going to say, otherwise you can just put it in the chat and we can download it. But I'm happy to post it. I'm in several early intervention, therapy Facebook groups and things like that. Happy to post it in there.
That would be great. Thank you. Yeah, I think we'll send it out rather than putting it in the chat, just because I've got many files open on my computer right now and I don't want to attach the wrong one.
Yeah, I will get that added to the email that goes out with the recording. So if you don't get it, you can also just reply to that email if like the attachment isn't working or something like that for you, and we can get that back to you.
Okay. Have you guys thought at all about like textbooks, or is it all going to be articles to read? I'm just curious what you're using for the texts for the different courses.
I believe, and Crystal, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that all of the readings were PDFs or were PDFs or websites or things that are accessible, not textbooks. Emily
Okay.
or Crystal, do you remember anything different than that?
There are a few textbooks that we're using a
Oh,
lot.
okay.
So I don't know if we plan to do the PDFs of them. So examples would be Dana Childress's new book, Pause and Reflect. That was one. There's like a child development book that we had planned to use. I'm
Oh,
not sure if Emily will.
I think, and
Yeah.
I can follow up with people, but I think that a lot of the textbooks, if not all of them, were available online through the library. So I'll double check on that, and Jessica, reach out to you if that isn't the case, and then you can help spread the word that there would be textbooks.
okay. Yeah, thank you both for correcting me. I guess I was wrong.
But it is also a lot of PDFs and uploadable stuff as well. So
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for all of the questions, everyone. Any last minute questions? Okay. We got one here that what's the workload going to look like for the courses?
Yeah, I can share a little bit about that. We have to follow the university's guidelines on course contact hours. And so I would say we would anticipate probably 10 or so hours per week, including the course time. Now, that will vary depending on, how quickly you read, how fast you work. So that's just kind of the estimate that we followed per the university guidelines.
I just want to chime in and say that also includes things like having like a reflective journal or
Yes.
like a lot of it is stuff that's going to be really easy to beat those hours. So yeah.
Yeah. And we definitely aren't, going to be counting hours. It's just we have to kind of estimate what the assignments and the readings and the reflective journal could kind of add up to, if that makes sense. But I think we're all happy to talk more with anyone. If anyone has concerns about the workload or wants to have a more in-depth discussion about what that could look like, we're also happy to meet with you or, on Zoom or face-to-face as is necessary.
And I think tentatively, we planned to have 4 kind of major assignments for each class. So like every other week, you might have something due.
Are you guys located downstate or are you in Chicago?
We're in Champaign-Urbana.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. But as I think we might have already said, but maybe we didn't. We certainly intend for this to be open to anyone anyone who's interested, not just folks in Illinois. So people in other states, people in other countries who are interested in early intervention are welcome to take these courses.
Yeah, so if you have questions later, I would encourage you to email us at onlineprograms@education.illinois.edu, and we can get those answers for you.
Thanks, Laura.
Well, with that, it looks like we've gotten all the questions so far. If you're watching this recording back and you have questions, you can please email us. Again, just as a reminder that the recording of this information session should be sent out to everyone about 12 hours afterwards. Make sure to get the flyer attached to that also, and so that that is sent out, and applications for it will open on July 9th and close on August 11th. We hope to see a lot of your applications and see a lot of you in the program this fall. Really appreciate everybody who joined us and everybody who is watching this back later. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you all so much.